Happy Sunday. Now I've had these two guitars for a while, so I think I could do a little bit better of a proper assessment. And it's sort of like what I would call opposite end of the spectrums in many respects, just in terms of what you're looking for on a guitar. If you kind of think about it, so you've got a Washburn J6 versus Heritage H575. So definitely a David versus Goliath, and you guys could figure out who's the David and which one's the Goliath. But in this case, um, I think that, like I said, when I kind of think about purchasing a guitar, cost is always a factor. How much does this thing cost? And that they're opposite end of the spectrum. This could be had for between $500 to $600, and this thing is north of $2,000, depending upon where you get it from. North of $3,000, really. So really, you got to consider that, and there's their value in that. And that's really a personal thing, because obviously there's a history with the Heritage where there's not the history with the Washburn to the same extent. By that I mean it's just a higher tier brand, like anything else in life, whether it's a car, a TV, a house, an education that you're buying. There's value associated with that perception of it actually being that much better. So anyway, I leave that up to you as far as that's concerned, but they're definitely as opposite end of the spectrum. So cost is one of the factors you got to think about. Size, for me as a guitar player, it really matters. It doesn't matter as much for me. For whatever reason, I can kind of navigate Tellys and Les Pauls and different size guitars, but a lot of people are fanatic about scale lengths, body depth, and things of that nature. I can tell you that this is, I think, a 25 and a half, and this is 24 and 3/4 for the kind of fanatic people. I personally, be honest with you, I don't feel the difference. Where I might feel the difference is the body depth. This is like a big boy. This is a 17-inch, whereas that's 16-inch, and this is a fully, like, I think 3 and change depth, whereas this is 2 3/4 depth. And it still doesn't bother me. I feel very at ease. There was no discernible uncomfortableness in terms of playing it because of the size. But some people cannot play large 17-inch arch tops, and some people won't play anything else. I mean, I think I remember reading somewhere where Kenny Burrell, basically everything he played was 17-inch. He liked big guitars, like Super 400s and things like that. He thought the 175 was a small guitar. But that's not the norm. Most people are after comfortability. And if you even look at not to digress, the acoustic guitar market, more people are buying double O's and single O's and parlor guitars than they are buying dreadnoughts. So, there is that move to get something a little bit more manageable. Having said that, one of the things that I love about 17-inch guitars that I've had, whether it be my D'Angelico this and the Peerless, is the fact that it just harkens back to the tradition of jazz, where you got a big boy next to that, and then of course you got guys like Ed Bickert on Tellys and things of that nature. So you've got costs, and you got the size in and of itself, but you also have construction. Some people are fanatics about the woods on the guitars in and of itself. This is a laminate guitar, whereas believe this Heritage is all solid wood. This one actually has a solid spruce top and maple back and side. And I'm not going to really play them acoustically as much, although I do play this. And last night I actually played this acoustically, and it actually sounded pretty good. So depending upon what that utility is, woods may be very, very important for you. Some people want maple, some people want rosewood, some people want ebony, whatever that preference is. I think you can go a little wacky with that stuff. If it sounds good, it sits well on your lap or in a strap, then go right ahead. But I'm not a fanatic about this. It's really about how comfortable it is, and all my guitars are set up the exact same way. Both of these things are set up with Tomastic and fell string. So you've got the costs, you've got the size of the thing, you've got the materials that are in there, and they're composed of. The other one is need, okay? And that one is tricky. Do you need another guitar, or do you actually need an arch top? No, not really. You can play jazz off of a solid body. You can play it off of a PRS, which I don't own one of those things. You can play them off of Tellys. You can play them off of Yamaha Ref Stars. Anything. It's really your fingers and listening to the tradition to try to get that access to. That is one of the biggest myths, that you need an arch top. I personally like arch tops, and I love Tellys. Everybody knows that. I love arch tops because it's like a work of art, man. You know the labor it took. Even when you see something that's all laminate, what it took to build that. It's like a nice piece of furniture, a beautiful, I mean, Is this not beautiful? I mean, just look at it. It's just gorgeous, So anyway, that's from the aesthetic perception. I love them as art. So you got all these considerations. There's the need. Some people might say, hey, they need it in the arsenal, so they want to have it to differentiate from semi-hollows or tellies that they might have. But at the end of the day, it's really what you're looking for. But anyway, so now the $1 million question for me is, again, let's look at value, what you actually get. I think this has to be one of the best sub under under $1,000 arch tops you can buy. Okay, bar none. I would say the two best budget level arch tops I've ever played has been an ES175 Premium and a Washburn J6, bar none. Okay, and it's even better if you can get one with a nice pickups in it, and this one has 57 classics, but prior owner put that in there. So I mean, there you have it. I no regrets on any of these things, no buyer's remorse or anything like that. They're very, very, very different. Is there the value attached with the $2,000-3,000+ Heritage versus $500 to $1,000 J6? You be the judge. Everybody's circumstances are different. If it gives you value, makes you happy, and you have access to the funds to get something, by all means, get it. Life is too short. Enjoy it with the love of music and guitar. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great Sunday.